Hey guys! Welcome to another episode of Bedtime Stories with me. Today, I want to tell you a story about holding weight of the balls. So once upon a time, a professor walked into a class with a few plastic balls, and the professor asked his students, guess the weight of each of these plastic balls. And each of the students threw various numbers, but generally they were towards the lighter side because it's just plastic balls. And then the professor says, I want a few volunteers. Let's get 4 volunteers down here, and all 4 volunteers extend your arm out and hold the ball as long as possible. So 4 person came down and they hold the ball. It seems pretty light. They bounce it around a little bit and they extended their arm and they start holding it. And you can guess what happened next, After several minutes, some of their hands start to wobble, some were stronger, they were steadily staying put for a little while, but eventually, after about half an hour, majority of them are starting to lower their hand a little bit, or their hands were starting to shake and shiver a little bit more, and they started groaning and asking the professor, what's the point of this experiment? Can they get started with their class already? But the professor said, no, hang on there a little bit more. And as time passed, towards 45 minutes, 1 or 2 of them gave up, and then towards the 1 hour mark, all of them gave up and dropped the ball and say that we're not doing this anymore, we are college students. So then the professor says, the lesson of the day is very easy. The ball is the equivalent of the stresses and the problems that you have. It may seem very light at first, but the more you talk about it, the more you mull over it, the more you complain about it, it's the same as the ball where you're extending your arm, the more you will start to feel the strain of that problem. So this is a reflection for us today, my friends. What are the problems or the mistakes that you have done probably in the past that you're holding on to? It may seem like a very small thing, it may seem like a very light matter, but the more we mull over it, the more you extend your arm to it, and the more you hang on to it, the more the weight will be a burden on you. So this applies for me in terms of just not work-related things that I may not enjoy doing, but the more I complain about it, the more I procrastinate, and the more I think about it, the more it hurts, the more I feel the stress. And also I reflect that this is also true for mistakes that I've made in the past. The more I think about a certain mistake, it can be a seemingly small mistake, something like probably something I've accidentally said to someone, or a silly decision that I've made, or maybe something that I have sent out a message to someone that I cannot recall. So there's no point mulling over incidences like that, because those things cannot be fixed anymore. And the more I give it power, it's like me extending my hand and trying to hold on to it a little longer. So I'm reminded today that there are many things that I think I am extending my hand, holding an unnecessary plastic ball. I should just let it go before I have to drop the ball intentionally, you see. So something for us to reflect on today, a very simple exercise. I would also encourage you to teach this to your children. It's a very simple experiment that you can play with your children. You have any ball at home, even a basketball or something, you can use this to teach your children how not to hold on to anger, how not to hold on to regrets, mistakes, or not to hold on to stresses. Because every minute that you're mulling over it, you're complaining over it, and you're crying over it, is the same as you trying to hold on longer to that ball. Okay? So as always, we'll end an episode of Bedtime Stories with me with a gratitude exercise. So think about a moment today that you're truly grateful, and think about the people surrounding that moment. It could be someone in your family, it could be your friend, it could even be someone virtual, or even your pets. And then just say thanks, because for all the things that have gone wrong today, you'll always have that one moment to be grateful for. So I'll see you again in another episode of Bedtime Stories with me. Bye!